the seamen was a rending sail, and fearless of the rushing blast, he careless whistles to the gale. Hello?
Hello?
What are you looking for, honey? Kilroy was here. I just saw that yesterday. It was your cousin Gus. Okay, Aris to many teeth, he said. Oh.
A little bit of baking.
Oh, baking powder for the outside of the wee Cornish hens. You're sweating. And Aris is making the rub for these little buggers.
Little chickens.
It's our first time trying these, right?
Yeah, I've never cooked them before. I've always wanted to barbecue them. On a spit for Greek Easter.
Yeah.
I get yelled at because, believe it or not, the argument that's made is there'll be too much food, which is...
It's always the case anyways.
It's always the case anyway. So let's see what we can do.
So what's that you're putting in?
So I'm gonna, I really don't know, and I'm not really following the recipe. I saw 2 4-minute YouTube videos yesterday.
Yeah.
Just to see if I was on the same page with what the world does with these things. So I'm just adding a few spices that I always,
What's
and
that,
herbs
ginger?
that I always like to add, and that is paprika, oregano, ginger, ground ginger. I am looking for the garlic powder. Here it is, garlic powder.
Ah. And you're not measuring, you're just kind of like throwing in
Yeah, it's what
a teaspoon or something.
Now I'm gonna add some ground coriander.
Coriander, nice. Love that smell.
I like that stuff. It makes things a little sweet, I think. And what else have I got? Salt and pepper has to go on.
Salt and pepper, but you're gonna put the baking powder on first, right?
I am in a minute.
Oh.
Let's add some rosemary. Why not?
So this is fly by the seat of your pants Cornish hens.
Well, it's not. Some people put rosemary, some people don't. Some people put ginger, some people don't. And again, my research included the 2-minute videos, 2-minute YouTube videos that I saw last night.
Oh,
This
onion powder now.
Onion powder.
Oh, very
And
nice.
This is something I would have done anyway, probably.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Let's do
Now-
some salt.
Very nice. Have you put back all the packages facing out so that you can read the ingredients?
Yes, no.
That's my OCD compulsion.
Yes, no.
Yeah. That's okay, sweetie. I'll organize it later.
Okay.
Pepper and salt. Nice kosher salt in there.
I may add more.
Is it running out?
No, it's just it gets clogged.
Oh. Okay, beautiful.
I think the peppercorns maybe are too small. Is it possible?
That's possible.
So that takes care of that. But this is your discovery.
Yes.
If you rub, actually no, I first heard this from my son Alexander when we were trying to cook some ducks a few years ago. He said rub the outside of the skin, rub the outside of the bird,
Or chicken wings. We've
or
done
anything. In that case it was a duck, with baking powder.
that. And
I got the scientific biological description of what the baking powder does. Apparently it does something to the skin and the fats in the skin and something in the skin, and it makes it crispy.
yes.
As opposed to, and it definitely does. We've done this a few times with chicken wings. I smoked a chicken a few weeks ago.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, and it really made the skin literally crispy. And then recently we found our local specialty retail grocery store here sells chicken skins.
Oh.
And that will be on
When are you buying those for me?
I don't know, in the summer maybe. We'll see.
It's my favorite thing in the world. to eat. Yum, yum, yum. Just chicken skin.
I did this once before with a chicken where I didn't pay attention to the baking powder and I got the baking soda.
Oh.
Yeah. And it worked. It made the chicken crispy.
Didn't taste good though.
But it tasted like acidic.
Yeah.
It was,
Don't mix up your baking soda and baking powder. You want baking powder for this. Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, again, another 2-minute YouTube video that I saw. I watch a lot of 2-minute YouTube videos and the occasion 45-minute YouTube video.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So you have a short attention span usually, but when
Well,
you're watching one of my videos.
Yeah, I pay attention. Yeah. What was I going to say? That apparently you can use baking soda, but you have to rinse afterwards. I don't know. Baking powder seems to be what works.
Yeah. Yep. So what's next?
Now, I'm going to mix this stuff, but I'm going to put this stuff in, like, rub the little chickens.
Sometimes you put brown sugar in the mix. Is that today or
I'm not
not?
going to do it today.
Okay, no brown sugar.
YouTube says no. Okay, so that's all mixed.
So the purpose of this first step is to coat them, or as we call it, a dry rub.
Well, I don't know what it's called.
And then,
you put, coat them on the skin to get it crispy.
Yeah.
And I have to cut this stuff.
Oh, the Pope's nose? Is that the Pope? You're going to cut the Pope's nose
I'm not
off?
going to cut the Pope's
No,
nose.
just the extra fatty skin at the end there? Okay.
Yeah.
And are you going to stuff them, honey?
No.
You're not?
They're little chickens.
Oh, well, they're not
I'm gonna
actually
put-
chickens, are they?
I'm going to put apples.
Oh, very nice. We have one apple, so I guess you're going to the store?
No. I'm going to cut them just a little piece of apple.
Oh, okay.
That's what they said to
Very
do.
nice. Very nice. What else are you going to throw in the pan with them?
Then I'm going to chop up veggies and put it in the oven.
Yeah? What veggies do you have?
Carrot, celery, onions.
Mmm.
Very,
It's
I
going
don't
to be
know.
a masterpiece.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
wait.
We, the closest thing that, I don't remember really ever having Cornish hen. I must have, but anyway, it doesn't come as a memory to me, but we did have quails, Kira and I, one time.
Yeah.
And we were in Greece, and we were invited to dinner by a local family in another village
Yes.
for a quail dinner. And it's like, cool. I've had quails as a kid. I don't know. I think Kira said that she's never had quails. Or...
No.
Anyway, so we get there, and it was the side of the mountain, and it was, I guess, kind of nice.
What village was it?
A place called Prosiliu.
Oh.
Prosiliu, which means towards the sun.
Oh, wow.
And that's the Greek name of the village, but there was a Turkish Ottoman name that they all, I forget that name. Anyway, so we went there, and
Wow.
and so they served us the quails, and Kira's like, how do you eat this? And I said, well, you cut the leg off, and you cut the wing off, and you eat it like chicken wings and drumsticks.
Yeah.
And so I was joking, and she did. She picked it up and tried to eat the chicken wing.
But everyone else just sort of ate all the bones
Yeah,
and
they crunched
everything,
them.
right?
Yeah, it's you have to have a taste for texture, because there isn't really much meat at all on those things. Anyway,
Nice.
it's kind of cool. And actually at that dinner,
I got in trouble, is that what?
Yes, Kira got in trouble. I shall remind you that I was talking with my aunts and uncles, and most of them are Greek, but there are a few that spent time in Canada, live in Canada, and they speak English. So I was telling my stories, part Greek, part English, and Kira was listening, and I guess I was telling a silly story. And Kira then says, she wants to practice her Greek.
What did I say? I
And
remember.
Kira says, O Aris ke prasina aloga, which means literal translation is Aris and his green horses.
Which don't exist.
Which don't exist. So in other words, she was saying that I was full of it. Full of baloney. And my aunt, Tula.
Tula. Nee.
Lives in Greece but spent time in Canada. And they're down the street from her house in Petrina. Turned to Kira and said, Kira, do you know what that means?
She was horrified.
And in her broken English, but English nonetheless. And Kira said, yeah, of course I know what it means. And my Tia Tula then said, bravo, bravo, which means, really? Wow, good, that's wonderful, that's great.
Sarcastically.
But,
oh, rub it in.
They all love Kira, so she, you know, they give me a hard time when we go to Greece because they say things like, they hear Kira singing, and she'll sing Greek, she'll sing in different languages when we're there. And my aunts and uncles will say things like, do you sing? Do I sing? And I said, no, I don't sing. And they said, well, in that case, Kira is more Greek than you. And I'm pretty Greek, apparently.
That little hen is not cooperating.
Trying to fly away. I am going to put some more salt on these.
So what sound does a Cornish hen make?
Yum, yum.
Or sizzle, sizzle. Poor little baby things.
Aww.
Look how cute they are.
Nice.
I have to find a picture of what a Cornish hen looks like while it's alive.
Who cares?
Uh-oh.
I was visiting
Apologies in advance.
I was visiting my Uncle John and my Aunt Nina the other day, and my Uncle John has to go for cataract surgery.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so, but the Greek word for cataract is katarachti.
Nee.
Katarachti also is the word for waterfalls.
Yeah.
And so when we would go to this farm in the little town, there was a little river with a waterfall. And we would often, my Uncle John would say, oh, I'm going to go into town to get lottery tickets, a newspaper, cigarettes, whatever. And we would lose him. Oh. And we would go looking for him. And he'd be asleep under a big oak tree next to the waterfalls.
Very
so
nice.
When I said to my Uncle John, I hear you're going for cataractas. He said, yeah, I'm going to drive up to Durham and fall asleep under the tree. That's what they told me to do. That's what I'm going to do.
So now what will we do with these little babes here?
They're going to just go back in the fridge and then in the oven in about an hour or so.
I guess you need this again.
What is it?
That's the plastic cover.
Oh. So much for the environment. So much for the environment. Reduce, reuse,
and then
use more. Don't reuse
and not recycle.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was just a force of habit
I
thing.
think that's it.
All right.
I got nothing more to say.
Okay, so these get to sit back in the fridge for a little while, and then
maybe an
you
hour.
will just, you're not going to flatten them or anything,
No,
right?
no,
You're
no,
just
no.
going to stick them in the oven?
Yeah.
How long?
An hour?
An hour or so.
Hour and a half.
What temperature would you cook them at?
425.
425.
I'll start them at 425 and then turn them. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
We shall see.
perfect. Okay. Ευχαριστώ πολύ, αριστομένη μου.
You're welcome, little chickens. You're little chickens.
So you've chopped up the veggies. You've got big man-sized chunks of carrots there, onions, and rosemary. Nice. Very good, Aristomeni. What's next? Tell us.
Salt, pepper, garlic powder.
Mm.
Oh, garlic. Let's throw some garlic in there.
Throw the garlic. Are we running out of garlic?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay. A garlic store called. No. What was the joke?
I have no idea.
Seinfeldism.
Where are you going with that?
It's a Seinfeldism.
Oh.
He said, are we running out of garlic? And it reminded me of that episode of Seinfeld where George wants to be a smart guy and come and have a good comeback.
Yes.
And so his plan was that he was going to get a plate of shrimps and stuff them in his face. And then someone is going to make a remark, and his comeback was going to be very witty. So when you said you're running out of garlic, I tried to think of a witty comeback because they told George, you're eating shrimp. The ocean's going to run out of shrimp. I don't remember.
honey, if you're going to tell a joke, you need to think it through beforehand.
But isn't that the genius? The joke, telling a joke is not the joke. The way, it's all about delivery.
Yes, I know.
So,
Yeah,
I'm very
for sure.
Very bad at delivering jokes.
The shrimp store called. They're running out of shrimp, and what's the comeback? Quick, quick. No, still not there. I've heard this joke, but I can't remember it either. Oh my gosh.
The idiot store called. They were running out of you.
Oh no.
And the comeback is, you're their all-time best customer.
Look
And
at
then
you.
he says, anyway, those who know Seinfeld knows what he says.
So can you explain why you're using a giant knife to cut tiny garlics? What's the science behind that?
I'm Greek, right?
Yeah.
And so there's always a Greek little thing that pops into my head, because I was a little Greek boy when I started school.
I hope so.
I remember going to school and people were speaking English, and I'm like, what the hell are these people talking about? So you're asking me a question.
Yeah.
And the question is?
Why are you using a giant knife to cut tiny garlic?
In other words, you're asking me the question kind of sarcastically.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I
So
wanna
the Greek
know.
comeback would be, ya na rotas, meaning,
Tinako.
so that you can ask.
Oh, of course. O Aris que prasina alvega.
Fiatula, thank goodness they love you. Otherwise, you would have been run out of town.
Thank goodness you love me.
Like the Ottomans and the Germans, because apparently they never stepped foot in mine.
There were some regions they did not get to, or maybe the women were just too fierce, eh?
That's right, it's crazy. They say, so my family is from the southern part of Greece, in Mani. They say, while Greece was fighting the Turks, the Magnatas were fighting themselves. Because they're a little
Stubborn?
bit feisty. Olive oil.
Oh yeah. And where's it from? You have
Petrina.
to tell them. Petrina.
These are from my father's trees. Kind of.
Very nice. It's a co-op press.
Yeah.
So everyone in the region brings their
Yeah.
olives to the co-op, and they all get mixed together. But then you get a ration of your own
Ration?
oil.
You get a quota.
You get a quota, yeah.
But
a quota.
Okay, let's do this now.
Are you gonna put the birds on there?
Yeah, now the birds are going on here.
Ooh.
Another
Was hast du? Was ist das?
Another little onion.
Ein Apfel. He's got an apple.
It's going to go inside the little chicken.
So 4:25.
All right, so
you go.
now let's get the little chicken. I'm going to put an apple in its belly.
Okay, so now the birds are going on the tray of veggies. Wow, gorgeous. Fancy.
I don't know. We eat like this every day.
Not really, but it sure feels like we've had some amazing meals lately. And just by the seat of our pants, what do you feel like tonight? Well, let's have schnitzel, or so he makes schnitzel. Inevitably, my mom will message me and say, is he pounding schnitzel again?
It's not a little joke I want to hear from your mom, if you know what I mean.
I do.
I have to tie the little feet. And one more.
Do you want some strips of tin foil for that?
No, I'll use string.
String.
All right.
Puine
I
the
don't know,
string.
I'll find it. I shall find it. There we go.
Oh, look at you. One facing one way and then switcheroo, and they just look fantastic in there.
That's what she said.
Wow. Oops, crash. Check this out.
There's my
Oh,
phone
and there's
call.
the phone. There's the phone call.
Okay, bye.
Oh, something else is happening. What is this now?
Today's Cornish Hen is brought to you by TMR Customs Inc.
Oh,
TMR.
oh, that's a client of yours. They're lovely people.
They,
Okay.
two brothers,
Yeah.
started a little business in the basement of their parents' house, moved out to their garage. I kind of don't remember how I met them exactly, but I think it was doing an open house, and I saw them working away in a garage in Markham. We went to talk to them, and they have been not only good friends, but excellent clients.
Both residential and commercial.
Both
Good
residential
for
and
you.
commercial. They have a booming little business. It's quite exciting to.
And my kid discovered them also kind of separately, right? Because they are into Jeep
Yes.
accessories and souping up
Off-road.
parts stuff.
Off-road custom
Very
builds and accessories, and
Wow, a little plug for TMR. So what are you doing now, honey?
while I'm.
What is it? The poor little bird. My God, what are you doing to it?
This is a little thing that actually my son Alexander mentioned a few years ago and saw in that YouTube video, that you put a pad of butter under the skin
Ooh,
on the breast meat
yeah,
while it's baking.
very
And
nice.
it's supposed to, I should use this knife. It's supposed to just make it a little bit juicy.
Mmm.
That's it.
Okay. Little pat of butter under the skin. They're all seasoned, sitting on the veggies, and they're going in the oven now for about an hour, he says.
Hour
And a
15,
bit.
hour 20.
You got to keep an eye on these too. Maybe get a thermometer and see if, check it for doneness every so often. Okay, bye everyone.
The roaring cannon loudly speaks, 'tis Britain's glory we maintain.